So, hello, good day, everyone. So, our topic for today it's all about the work ethics for every generation. So, this will be the last topic that we are going to discuss in the subject ethics. So, let's first define what is work ethics. So, work ethics is a set of moral principles or values that an employee should abide by and uses in their job performance. So, it's very important that every individuals or every employees should have work ethics because it covers the behavior, the attitude towards in their jobs, towards in their career, and even in the workplace. So these values of ethics molds a person into a more responsible and more determined individual. So there are 10 work ethics traits. Okay, first is appearance, second is attendance, attitude, character, communication, cooperation, organizational skills, productivity, respect, teamwork are these are defined as the most essential for employees should cover for themselves. Okay, so it's really important to have a work ethics in the workplace. So in generation naman, we are going to discuss about those generation in baby boomers, millennials, the Generation Z, Generation X, mga ganyan. So let's first discuss about the baby boomers. So baby boomers um, were born between 1946 to 1964. Okay? Yun ang tatandaan nyo. So, kaya siya tinawag na baby boom from the word boom, okay, bigla ang pagtaas ng birth rate noong 1946 to 1964. At they were born during the post-World War II. Okay? So, ang World War II kasi nag-start yan noong 1935 and end up into 1945. So, after noon, bigla ang madaming mga nabuntis sa kababaihan. Why? Because dahil nung pag-invade ng Japan, the Spaniards, the Americans, all women are subjected to rape. Like, just like Japan, mas worse ang ginawa ng Japan, yung sa rape of Nanking. So all women were subjected to rape. All women are forcedly to marriage the soldiers. Okay? So kaya yun ang dahilan kung bakit mami ang mga birth rate noong 1946 to 1964. So in here there is the key terms for baby boomers are because of the high numbers of the relative prosperity in the economy during their careers, the baby boomers are economically influential generation. Okay, so today, baby boomers are reaching retirement age. Okay, so the term baby boomer is derived from the boom in births that took place after the return of the soldiers from World War II. So we are going to discuss about the characteristics, the common characteristics of baby boomers. So we have the work-centric, independent, goal-oriented, competitive, and self-actualization. Okay, so ang work-centric naman, kapag baby boomers are very workaholic. Okay, workaholic ang mga baby boomers. They are extremely hardworking and motivated by position and prestige. So, sabi ko nga, they are workaholic generation. They believes that the generation X and the generation Y should pay their dues and conform to the culture of overwork. Okay, so they criticize younger generations for lack of work ethics and commitment to the workplace. And also, they are independent. So, baby boomers are confident, independent, and self-reliant. So, madiskarte sila sa buhay. They know what they need to do for them para mabuhay. So, they are also competitive. Competitive in a positive way. They need to compete because they need to have professional growth on themselves. So they are also goal oriented. Okay, so baby boomers are achievement oriented. They are dedicated, they are career focused, and they are also passionate. Okay, so they welcome exciting challenges, projects. That's why they strive to make a difference. Okay, so self actualization also. So next is we have the Generation X. So Generation X was was born in the year between 1965 to 1980. So dito sa Generation X is parang may introducing na ng a little bit technology because in the year of 1965 the television was discovered. Okay, so Generation X is also called the baby bus because of its smaller boom numbers. Okay, next is the Senials. Senials were born in 1977 to 1983, also known as the Oregon Trail generation. Senials had an analog childhood and a digital childhood. Okay, so next is we have the Millennials. Okay, dito kasi sa Millennials is um, napag napag-iiba natin ang pinagkaiba ng millennials sa post-millennials. Ang post-millennials also called as Generation Z. Okay? So ang mga millennials ay hindi yung mga kabataan ngayon. So ang millennials, according to Pew Research Center, millennials were born between 1981 to 1996. The older segment of the demographic are well into the adulthood. So ang kumakalat kasi sa Facebook are those millennials is yung starting age of 13 right now and to until now. Okay? 13 to 20. Mga ganyan ang ages nila ngayon. So, yun ang tinatawag ng millennials. No, it's not. Okay? Yung mga ipinanganak noong 1981 to 1996, they are called millennials. So, ang post-millennials naman is yun na yung mga Generation Z. Okay? 1997 and up. Yun na yung last. Okay? So, um, Generation Z were born between 1997 or after. So, then came Generation Z or iGen, which roughly starts with people born in 1997. So, ang Generation Z are also called as the digital age. Bakit digital age? Dahil dito na na-introduce na yung mga teknolohiya, the wireless, anything na mga cellphone, smartphone, and etc. And they are very techy. Techy ang mga Generation Z. Okay, so what comes after Generation Z? Okay, dahil some research, ang nilalagay lang nila is hanggang Generation Z. But I found some research na nilagay nila ang Generation Alpha. Okay, so ang Generation Alpha, born 2010 or after. So, okay, so they are technology by the numbers. So, one of the biggest experiences shared by a generation is the technology it grew up with. So, ang pinagkakaiba naman nila in terms sa technology is the upgrading of the technology. Okay, and the abrupt integration of technology throughout the years. Okay, so many observers, okay, they debate that the precise dates and definitions or decry stereotypes attached to each generation. So, nevertheless, their shared values and experiences shape the education techniques, including the marketing techniques, and also the work styles, the voting preferences, the social services, needs, mga ganyan. So, and also with the entertainment choices, the musical taste, and more. Okay, so ang mga Generation Alpha, alam na nila na si President Rodrigo Duterte ang president ngayon, ang current president ngayon. Okay, so to recap, okay, ang baby boomers born in 1946 to 1964, the career mindset is they are loyal, they are self-driven and high work ethics. Ang Generation X naman, ang career mindset nila ay pessimistic, self-reliant, work-life balance. Ang Millennials naman, career mindset nila is idealistic, fairness, and flexibility, work-life integration. Ang Generation Z naman is realistic, multicultural fluency, technology native. Okay, so next is how baby boomers' values and ethics impacted the legal workplace. So, um, the Gen X, the Gen X look to a leaders to be a role model. So, leaders who exemplify the company's values with their actions, who are ready to jump into solve problems and lead the business through transition and change. Okay? So kung magaling ang leader na magsolusyon ng mga problema, then the employees would follow. Mas lalong gagalingan nila. Okay. So, Gen X wants a leader to be engaged in work and busy and be easily approachable. Okay, may mga leaders kasi na ang taas-taas ng tingin nila sa kanila and they don't attach themselves to their employees. Kaya nagkakaroon ng bad environment sa isang kumpanya. Ideal leaders for Generation X are open to everyone's ideas and create a workplace where all levels can participate across the board. Okay, so they show up strongly in critical moments that define the organization's future or during the transitions. Okay, so tatandaan nyo ang Generation X was born in the year of 1965 to 1979. Okay, next is, sino tong babaeng nakikita nyo ngayon? Okay, so this woman is one of the highest paid woman in the world. Okay, she was born in the year of 1968. She is Laura. It is the famous CEO of Williams Sonoma, a retail company specializing in the kitchenware and home furnishings. So, one of the characteristics of Gen X is being independent. So, Gen X are self-sufficient. They are also resourceful, individualistic, since they have been accustomed to caring for themselves since before reaching the adulthood. So they value freedom and responsibility also, and they try to overcome challenges on their own. Okay? So yun naman din ang kagandahan sa mga Gen X. So next is how Generation X is shaping the workplace culture. Okay, so Generation X brings a culture of work ethics, quality, and reciprocal relationships in the workplace. So they can work with millennials, and they millennials also serves as their mentors in helping them learn the crucial people skills like relationship building, the adaptability, communication styles, employee motivation, empathy, group dynamics, as well as various management and leadership styles. So one of the best characteristics also of Generation X is they are very adaptable. Okay? They are willing to learn new things. Okay? So theirs are more pessimistic than both of those larger generation that they all have enough money for their retirement. So do you think that a pessimist is an optimist with experience? Yes. So an optimist is hopeful. Okay? Yan ang ibig sabihin ng optimist, hopeful. Ang optimist kasi tinitingnan niya ang future, okay, into a better place. Okay? Into it turns into a it turns out into a better. Yun yung tinitingnan niya in the future. Ang pessimist naman side and also see the future, tinitingnan niya yung mga decision niya, yung mga consequences, yung mga challenges para maging prepared siya kapag dumating na yung mga araw na yon. Okay? So, it is really, really good na maging pessimist tayo. Okay? In order for us to be ready sa mangyayari. Unlike the optimist na, oo, alam niyang ito ang mangyayari. Okay, he or she is very positive. Pero we should always see to it yung mga consequences na mangyayari in order for us to be ready. Hindi wala namang masama kung mag-precaution tayo. Okay? So, a pessimist is an optimist with experiences. That's true. Okay, so there are several forces at play, including the influence, the emotional intelligence, and relationships. So something that Generation X have applied for years for them to be successful. Okay, so here are the Generation X work ethics. So please must be read this one. So the characteristics of the Gen X in the workplace. Okay, so first is don't be a nagging leader. So ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng nagging? So ang nagging is yung leader na may pressure. Okay, so he or she constantly harassing someone to do something. So in short, mga matataray, mga nagagalit, mga ganyan. So without thinking for the good environment. Okay, so don't be a nagging leader. Okay, try to be an approachable. Okay, to be kind to your employees, mga ganyan. So give them a challenge. Okay? So Generation X are known for their organizational skills. Ang Generation X, gaya nga ng sinabi ko nga kanina, na they are in love with those challenges and they work, okay? They work na um they work organizedly. Okay, so they are, Generation X are known for their organizational skills. So they are independent and autonomous. So they can be as workaholic as they want to be, but their bosses should know their limit on how they treat them. So efforts that are not compensated are problematic for them, and they need legal assistance if it is happens that the issues are not addressed properly. So this is why that all workers are protected by the employment law. So to ensure that no one can get away from any forms of unjust treatment in the workplace. Okay, so next is a flexible work hour. So gaya nga sinabi ko kanina na Generation X are adaptable. Okay? So it is a lifestyle that Generation X and the baby boomers yearn for for as they learn the value of importance of work-life balance. So remember that Gen X grew up seeing their parents putting in a long hours or of stressful work just to climb out the corporate ladder. Okay? Four is treat them as entrepreneurs. So treat them as an employee. Okay, you as a leader should always uphold this one. Dahil kung wala sila, walang magpapagalaw sa business mo. And all of the employees, okay, they have their functions, they have their responsibility that could brings your company into a great thing. Okay, so dahil ang principle nila, in reality, ang principle nila sa buhay is respect me as an employee at irerespeto din kita bilang boss and vice versa. Okay? So, next is always give them feedback. So, this is very important. So, you have an um once you have a a Gen X employee, okay, always give them a feedbacks. These feedback serves as their professional growth. Okay, para alam nila kung ano yung mga i alam nila kung ano pa yung mga mas paghuhusayan nila sa work nila, kung anong mga kulang pa nila na kailangan nilang baguhin, and etc. and so on. Okay, so that would be, next is millennial work ethics naman na tayo. So millennial have a self-centered work ethics. Okay? So millennials employees are dedicated to completing their tasks well. So sabi ko nga ang mga millennials was born in the year of 1980. So they have not been raised in a way that demands them to look around and see what should be done next. So instead, they ask, what is my job? Okay? So they always see na yung sa job description, they work for that thing. Okay? So, and go about figuring the best, fastest way to complete the task. So, this is reality. Na ang mga, kapag pinagawan mo ang millennials na wala naman sa job description niya, magrereklamo yan. Okay? Magrereklamo sila yan. So, dahil doon, kapag may mga millennials ka mga employee, huwag mo na lang gawin yun. Okay? Pagawa mo dun sa mismong tao. Okay? Mismong employee na talagang gumagawa ng trabaho na yun. So, why they need to compete? Okay? So, ang Generation X kasi, they need to compete, okay? Para sa professional growth. Ang mga millennials naman, they need to compete for them para ma-promote. Okay? So, it's probably in the position. Next is, they have some pervasive myth of millennial. Okay? So, first myth is generations of millennial have no work ethics. This is untrue. Okay? So, millennials have a self-centered work ethics. millennial employees are dedicated to completing their tasks well. So they always ask, nga yung sabi ko nga kanina, na what is my job? And they work based on their job description. Okay? And also one thing more sa overtime naman is they see time as a currency. Okay, yeah, explain ko mamaya yan. And then another is millennial don't want to put in the hours to get ahead. So, millennials employees are willing to put in the time to do the job. Ito yung sinasabi ko na they see time as a currency. Okay? So, kung ang mga millennials, they work on the time frame na binigay. Okay? So, mag-work sila 8 to 5. Beyond that time, ng 5 o'clock, okay, overtime yan, it should be paid. Yun yung prinsipyo nila. Okay, it is also the same with the baby boomers. Okay, they tend to see something to invest. Okay, the younger generation view it as a valuable currency, not to be wasted. Okay, so these are the generation that demand the work-life balance and paid time off. So in short, kung anong nakalagay sa work hour ay yun lang yung susundin. But be sure na matatapos mo ang trabaho mo. Pero kapag overtime na, kinakailangan naman ng bayaran. And this is their perspective at marami namang gumagawa. Okay? So next is millennials have no respect for authority. No, this is not true. Okay, so millennial and the Generation X employees have a great respect for the leaders and loyalty. But, okay, this is the reality. Okay? Dahil kung ikaw na leader ay pangit ang pinapakita mo o pakikitungo mo sa mga employee mo, then expect na madaming may ayaw at minsan madaming sinasabi sa likod mo. Pero kung okay naman yung pinapakita mo, then the workplace environment is good. Okay? There is one big caveat to the to the to the person they want to be. Okay? Be the person they want you to be. Okay? So being approachable leader, okay? So millennials have also the tendency to seek tight bonds. Okay, diyan magaling ang mga millennials sa tight bonds at gustong-gusto nila yun. They want boss who is close, who is caring and aware. So friendship can be especially tempting in situation where managers and employees are close in age. Okay, or work very close together. Pero palagi yung pagkakantaan yung gap. Okay, gap between the employee and gap within the leader. Okay? Next is they want to grow up. They don't want to grow up. This is false because millennial employees may not know how to grow up the way previous generations did. Okay, gaya ko nga sinabi ko nga kanina na they compete because they want the position. Okay, para mas lalong umangat silang position and that they see it as professional growth also. So true enough na ang boomers have a tendency to cuddle with their children and use their own good fortune to make sure their children didn't experience adversity. So, but some wanted to, that they need to compete in their work for position. Okay, so next is Generation Z work ethic. So people ages 16 to 25, they are commonly known as Generation Z. So they consider themselves the hardest working generation and yet won't tolerate being forced to work than they don't want to. So according to a new study. So ang Generation Z, they are the digital generation or also known as the digital age or the native digital. So Gen Z are more idealistic, they are more confrontational, and they are less willing to accept diverse point of view. Dahil kung pinagsabihan mo na ang isang Gen Z, alam, mali naman to, dapat hindi ganito, dapat ganito, ganyan. Okay, they have the hype, parang ma-pride. Okay, na they don't want to, na nalalamangan sila. So, yun yung iiwasan natin. Okay? Kailangan dapat we have a euphemistic communication with the Gen Z. Okay? So, that ends our topic for today. Stay safe and God bless. Bye!